Here's a fun fact. Your brain is basically a professional con artist. It lies, all the time, to you, with a straight face. And the worst part? You believe it because you are it. The human mind is stuffed full of bizarre, backfiring shortcuts called cognitive biases, tiny mental hacks that are supposed to help but often lead you straight into a swirling vortex of delusion. This isn't about magic or hypnosis. No, we're diving into a single psychological trick so powerful, it quietly rewires how you see yourself, your world, and reality itself. And yeah, it can mess you up. Big time. Let's get right into it. Number 10. You invent reasons after the fact. Let's say you just spent $400 on a weird designer chair shaped like a lobster. Now, you could admit that maybe, just maybe, this was a regrettable impulse purchase. But no, your brain will immediately spring into action, crafting a noble, logical reason why it totally makes sense. It's ergonomic. It's an investment in art. It's a conversation piece. Sure, January. This is called rationalization, and it's one of the sneakiest tricks your mind pulls. You don't actually know why you made half the decisions you've made, but that won't stop you from inventing a story that makes you look like a stable genius. And here's the kicker, you're not lying on purpose. Your brain fills in the gaps automatically, like a glitchy AI trying to generate your life's narrative in real time. This means you can do something for dumb, emotional, or totally random reasons, and then convince yourself it was logical all along. Basically, your consciousness is the PR team cleaning up after your subconscious throws a wild party. Number 9. You hate being wrong. Even when you are, you ever double down on something even though deep down you know you're wrong? Maybe it's an argument about song lyrics. Maybe it's claiming you're not mad when you are obviously Hulk-level furious. Welcome to cognitive dissonance, the mental discomfort of holding two conflicting beliefs. Your brain hates that tension so much, it will twist reality into a pretzel to avoid admitting you messed up. Rather than accept I did a dumb thing, your brain says, no, they were being dramatic. Or I had no choice. Or Mercury was in retrograde, obviously. Cognitive dissonance is like emotional static. Instead of fixing the source, you just crank up the volume until you can't hear it anymore. And that's how people end up defending obviously bad ideas, doubling down on weird beliefs, or convincing themselves that toxic relationships are just passionate. Basically, your nervous system is throwing a tantrum in your honor. Number 8. You think you're the star. Okay, so here's a brutal truth. You are not the main character in other people's lives, but your brain doesn't know that. It thinks you are the center of the universe, the sun in the psychological solar system, and everyone else is just rotating around your radiant drama. This is called the spotlight effect, the tendency to wildly overestimate how much other people notice or care about what you're doing. You trip on the sidewalk and immediately imagine an invisible audience of strangers judging your clumsiness. You post something online and assume everyone's dissecting your caption. Spoiler, they're not. They're too busy worrying about their own dumb posts and invisible audiences. The spotlight effect makes you paranoid, self-conscious, and hesitant to take risks. It turns daily life into a psychological stage play, except nobody's watching and the curtains are mostly closed. So go ahead, wear the weird hat, say the awkward thing, literally no one's paying as much attention as your ego thinks they are. Number 7, you're allergic to randomness. Imagine someone flips a coin 5 times and it lands heads every time. What do you instinctively think? Tails is due next, but no, each flip is still 50-50. Your brain just refuses to accept that randomness can look non-random. This is called the gambler's fallacy, and it's your brain's way of pretending chaos has patterns. It's the same reason people think their lucky socks help them pass a test, or that buying a lottery ticket on Tuesday increases their odds. It doesn't, but the illusion of control is just too delicious to resist. This bias shows up everywhere, in slot machines, dating apps, stock trading, and why you'll stay in a bad situation longer than you should, because surely your luck's about to turn. Your brain wants the world to be fair and predictable. Unfortunately, the universe is more drunk raccoon in a garbage can than well-oiled vending machine. So if you're looking for logic and randomness, you might as well ask your cat for tax advice. Number 6, you only see what confirms your beliefs. Let's say you believe that pineapples don't belong on pizza, totally valid opinion. But suddenly, every time someone does order pineapple pizza, it's like your brain zooms in, slow motion style, like, see, I knew it, the world has gone off the rails. That's confirmation bias, your brain's tendency to seek out, remember, and exaggerate anything that agrees with what you already believe, while casually ignoring anything that doesn't. It's like having a mental bouncer that only lets in thoughts wearing your team's jersey. Confirmation bias is why conspiracy theories spread like wildfire, why political arguments on Facebook never end well, and why your friend still thinks essential oils cured her seasonal depression. It makes your brain an echo chamber, one where every whisper of dissent gets drowned out by the loudspeakers screaming, "You're right, always." And the worst part? You don't know it's happening. You think you're doing research, but really, you're just Googling until the internet agrees with you. Basically, your brain isn't looking for truth. It's looking for backup dancers. Number 5, you think you knew it all along. Picture this, your favorite team loses a big game and someone immediately says, "I knew they were going to blow it." No, they didn't. They were screaming, "Let's go," like the rest of us until 10 minutes ago. But now that the outcome's clear, their brain rewrites the past to make them look psychic. Enter hindsight bias, the illusion that events were more predictable than they actually were. After something happens, your brain scrubs out the uncertainty and paints over it with smug clarity. It's why breakups suddenly make sense, why stock market crashes feel inevitable, and why we all become Monday morning quarterbacks, judging past decisions with God-tier wisdom we absolutely did not have at the time. This illusion isn't just annoying, it warps how you learn. If you always feel like you knew it all along, you stop examining your thought process. You just assume you're brilliant. But no, you're not psychic. You're just a brain trying to retroactively make yourself feel competent. Thanks, I guess. Number 4, you assume everyone thinks like you. Imagine you're in a room full of people. You're cold, so obviously everyone must be cold too, right? Number. But your brain can't help projecting its own internal weather onto the world. This is the false consensus effect, the assumption that your opinions, beliefs, and experiences are way more common than they actually are. You think everyone hates Mondays, loves dogs, and knows how to use a French press. But the truth is, people's inner worlds are basically alternate dimensions. You're living in your own reality, and so is everyone else. But your brain keeps pasting your perspective onto them like a Snapchat filter. This bias makes you overconfident, under-empathetic, and perpetually shocked when someone doesn't react the way you expected. Oh, you don't think The Office is funny? Cue internal crisis. The false consensus effect is your brain's way of making the world feel familiar, but it's also why you get blindsided when someone's totally fine with pineapple on pizza. Again with the pizza, sorry. Number 3, you think you're the exception. Ah yes, the classic mental loophole. That happens to other people, not me. Smokers know cigarettes are deadly, but they're pretty sure they won't get lung cancer. Drivers know texting is dangerous, but they've got it under control. And yes, everyone thinks they're better than average, which statistically makes no sense. This is called the optimism bias, your brain's built-in pep talk that tells you everything's gonna work out great. For you, specifically. It's the reason you book flights during a pandemic and assume you won't get stuck. The reason you eat gas station sushi and believe in your immune system like it's a Marvel superhero. Optimism bias gives you confidence, but it also blinds you to risk. It's why we procrastinate, ignore red flags, and assume things will just work out somehow. It's comforting, it's dangerous, and it's why half of us think we'll beat the odds even when we are the odds. Basically, your brain is that one friend who's always like, "It'll be fine," as the car slowly sinks into a lake. Number 2, you trust your memory like it's a recording. Imagine this. You clearly remember your childhood dog wearing a blue collar. You know it was blue. You'd bet your lunch money on it. Then you see an old photo, and it's red. Bright red. You stare at it like it's lying. Welcome to the misinformation effect, your brain's fabulous ability to take real memories, mix in a dash of fiction, and serve it up like it's hard evidence. Your memory is not a video camera. It's a chaotic improv artist that rewrites scenes every time you hit play. Worse, it doesn't tell you when it's lying. You'll recall imaginary conversations, distorted timelines, and even completely fabricated moments with total confidence. Why? Because your brain values a cohesive story more than an accurate one. And it gets worse with time, emotion, and suggestion. Add a little social pressure or a convincing friend, and boom, you're remembering things that never happened. That argument you clearly remember winning? Yeah, you probably didn't. Sorry, your brain just edited the footage and hit save. Number 1, you believe your thoughts. Are you? Let's get existential for a second. You're sitting quietly, minding your own business, when suddenly your brain blurts, "What if you just screamed in the middle of this meeting?" You didn't want to think that. It just happened. And now you're silently panicking like, "Oh God, am I unhinged?" Here's the truth bomb. You are not your thoughts. But your brain doesn't know that. It treats every passing idea, intrusive image, or internal freakout like it's a reflection of your soul. And this is where the real mind-breaking happens. This is the identification illusion, and it's the ultimate psychological trick. Your mind produces thousands of thoughts a day, but the dangerous ones are the ones you believe define you. Why did I think that awful thing? Why can't I stop worrying? Why does my brain hate me? Because it's a brain, it's messy, it's glitchy, and it's constantly talking, but that doesn't mean you have to take it seriously. You are the observer, not the script. So next time your brain throws you a wild, uninvited thought, don't panic. Just nod and say, "Thanks for the chaos, champ," and keep walking. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.